You may have heard the rumors that First Home Finance, previously known as FLISP, has run out of funds, is no longer giving subsidies. You may have heard that First Home Finance is officially bankrupt. I know that there are a lot of people that are in a great panic, and that includes some of my personal clients. So today we're going to look at what is happening in the Department of Human Settlements when it comes to the subsidy. We'll explore what's true and what's not, and what you as a first-time home buyer can do in the situation. I'm Sibilolo Makwanyane, aka Sibilolo the Estate Agent, and welcome to the channel where we help first-time home buyers and first-time home owners make wise decisions about their property. If you're a bit clueless about this topic, we first need to start by exploring what First Home Finance is. It's previously known as FLISP, and it's basically a subsidy that comes from government that gives people who want to be homeowners a bit of a head start. People who want to purchase homes that fall into a certain category get given a lump sum by the government that they can use towards purchasing a home. It is a once-off payment that you'll never have to repay. Let me give you a very quick rundown of how it works. When you purchase a property, First Home Finance is going to give you a certain amount of money that you can use towards the initiation costs that are necessary when you purchase a home. In order to qualify, you must be earning between 3,501 Rand and 22,000 Rand. Now, when it comes to the subsidy that you qualify for, it is reviewed on a regular basis, but at the moment, it is somewhere between about 39,000 and about 180,000 Rand. And don't assume that the more you earn, the more you qualify for, because it's actually the direct opposite. Someone who earns 3,501 Rand is going to qualify for the full amount of 180,000, whereas someone who earns 22,000, which is the maximum in the income bracket, will actually earn the minimum in the subsidy amount in the form of about 39,000 Rand. This money goes directly towards the attorneys that are transferring the property and those registering the bond. Should there be any extra funds, that money will automatically go towards the deposit in order for it to reduce your monthly repayments. So at no point is anybody going to actually give you this money in your account. The money is purely for home purchasing purposes only and cannot be used anywhere else. So if you're watching this and you are keenly interested because maybe you earn in this income bracket or know someone who does, we need to be very clear that not everybody who earns within this income bracket automatically qualifies for the subsidy. So let's start by disqualifying the people that will not be able to access the subsidy. Go ahead and click the like button if you like this content. A subscription would be greatly appreciated, and go ahead and click the notification bell so every time a new video is loaded, you'll be the first to know. Anyone who's not a South African or not a permanent resident will not be able to access this subsidy. And that is because it is there purely to empower locals. If you are under the age of 18, because you are too young to get into a contract, so basically you won't be able to access that funding either. Anyone who does not have a dependent will be disqualified. And that is because the subsidy is given to people who have somebody who relies on them, right? And that person needs to be someone who is going to be living with you in this house. Anyone who has at some point benefited from a housing subsidy will not be able to access first home financing. Say you are someone who was allocated an RDP house when you were earning below 3,500. So now you earned 4,000 Rand. You will not be able to access a subsidy from first home financing because you've already had a housing subsidy in the past. Now, interestingly, this also includes government employees. If you are a state employee, that means you get a housing subsidy from government, so you will not qualify for first home financing. And most importantly, if you've ever owned a home, you don't qualify for first home financing. It is purely for people that are first-time home buyers. I'm not going to get into deep detail about first home financing qualification criteria and how it works in this video. I've recorded an entire video about that. I will add the link in the description as well as a link at the end of this video so you can watch it immediately when we're done here. And the reason I say that is because this video is not about first home finance. It's about figuring out whether or not it's dead. So first up, I can tell you that First Home Finance has not been cancelled. There are just some complications that are happening at the moment, and that will certainly affect you as a first-time home buyer. The Department of Human Settlements recently sent out a statement saying over the years they've been overwhelmed with the number of applications and that they basically become oversubscribed. So in short, demand is higher than supply. So what's happened is they've cut off applications in March 2026 and are holding off new applications until they figure themselves out. Anyone who has had their first home financing application approved on or before the 20th of March 2026 is going to receive their subsidy as originally planned or hoped for. But anybody who had not received a full application approval after the 20th of March is going to have to hang on for a little bit longer. The best example that I can give is if you think about it this way. Say you are hosting an event at a venue and you anticipate about 1,000 people to rock up, but then 3,000 people are there. You're not going to cancel the event. You're just going to stop letting in people into the door so that you can just sort yourself out, get a plan in order, and then move forward. So at the moment, it's April 2026, and I say that because depending on when you watch this, things may or may not have changed. If anything has been updated, post the time that I, load this video, I will record a video about it and you can see the latest update. If there's no link in the description about the update, then you can know that this is still currently in effect. But anyway, at the moment, the department is just trying to control the numbers, to manage the backlog and to manage the funds properly. Now, it's very important to look at it in that way, because if you assess it like that, you realize that the Department of Human Settlements is still fully functioning. If you contact First Home Financing, maybe the call center or the email, you should still be able to get assistance because everything is still functioning. It's just subsidies that have been held off for a while. The department is basically halted all applications and approvals until the 2026-2027 year. Now, we're currently in that period. So according to the department, everything should be up and running by the end of March 2027. The announcement was made on the 12th of March 2026 and came into effect on the 20th of March, which is basically immediate effect if you think about the process it takes to find a property and get all the full approvals. Now, this delay does have some advantages for people who are intending to purchase their first properties. First up, you can prepare your budget and get a feel of what your life is going to be like when you have a bond. It will also give you an opportunity to learn more about the home purchasing and home ownership journey by educating yourself. And you can start by subscribing to this channel because that's what we do here all day, every day. What I'm basically saying is that there is absolutely no reason to waste this opportunity that First Home Finance is giving us. Get armed. So by the time First Home Financing has once again opened the applications and you are ready to purchase your property, you will be substantially better equipped to handle the process and make wise decisions. By the time the applications are up and running again, can you imagine how many applicants there are going to be? But if you're prepared, you'll be one up on everyone else. You can check your credit report and see if there's anything that needs to be fixed or improved that will help you get a better interest rate when you do purchase your property. You can do a pre-approval, which is going to help you see how much you qualify for. That way you'll be in full control. I know that there's a lot of people who are saying that the department has run out of funds or, that the money was mishandled. I cannot tell you if that is true or not. But there is something that I can tell you that should be able to put you at ease. Let's look at the relevance of these dates. The government discusses and draws up a budget, and then it gets implemented from the 1st of April to the 31st of March. These restrictions were introduced in the last month of the financial year, meaning someone saw that during the financial year and decided to intervene so things will be different at the beginning of the next financial year. If the restrictions had been introduced during the financial year, then I'd be concerned. But the fact that the problem was noticed during the 25-26 financial year, it means they could implement the changes in the 26-27 financial year. And that certainly brings me some calm. I don't really have a problem with the fact that they basically gave us immediate effect. And the reason for that is if they had given us notice, like, I don't know, 3-4 months or whatever, there would have been a large panic. And people were purchasing properties like everyone was collecting toilet paper during COVID. But here's the thing, whether I'm right or I'm wrong is completely irrelevant. At the end of the day, we all want the subsidy back. And the department has said that they will be ready by February 2027. So let's hope by then everything will be in full swing and people will once again be able to purchase property using the government subsidy. What I can assure you is when anything happens, you on this channel will be the first to know. So if there's a link at the moment for you to check out the latest video I've recorded about that, then you can do that. If not, you can watch this video all about first home finance.